So we have day 6 of the 2026 Milan Cortina Paralympic Games recap. So let's go talk about. So we had the Para-Alpine skiing, the women's Super G, the vision impaired, the women's Super G skiing, the women's Super G sing, men's Super G, the vision impaired. And then we had the standing, then the sing. Then we had wheelchair curling, session 5 mixed team. And then we had ice hockey preliminary round, 2 games. And then some more wheelchair curling or mixed doubles, final session mixed doubles. And then a para ice hockey preliminary round game. And then we had a mixed team 6th session. And then we had finally wrapped up with a ice hockey preliminary round game. Let's take a look at the Super G for the women. We had 9 competitors. In the vision impaired, it was Chara Mezel, 114.84 in first, AS2. And then from Italy, Austria, Veronica Agner, AS3, 115.44. And AS2, Alexandra, that's Rexova from Slovakia, 119.16. From 4th, AS2 from Italy, Martina Vasa, 120.59. Sarah Choi from Korea, South Korea, 121.17. Republic of Korea. And then Mena Fitzpatrick, AS2, Great Britain, 125.52. And Iba Niku, sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, from 125.99 from Greece. And then May, it was AS3. And then May Gustafson, and AS4, 126.01. And then the only DNF, Elena Star, AS2, did not finish it. And then we have women's Super G. We had 15 competitors in the standing Super G. And then Russia, Vara Ranchina, 115.60. Aurelie Richard from France, 117.56. Ebba Arstro from Sweden, 117.64. Andrea Rothfuss, 118.95. And from Germany, 4th. Zhu Wanjing, 119.73. Claire Petit from Netherlands, 120.34. Kelsey O'Driscoll from USA, 120.51. 122.93 from Audrey Crowley from USA. Michaela Gosselin, 10th from Canada, 122.99. And then Amy Hondo from Japan, 123.62. Anna Maria Ryder from Germany, 124.28. Gu Jackson, 129.52. And then Ali Johnson from USA, 130.46. And Zhang Minqiu, Gina Fashion, Shane Vesby from Israel, did not finish as well. And then in the men's, that was in the standing Super G. And then in the sitting, and then in the sing Super G, we had 7 competitors in the sing. We had Audrey Pasco-Seco, 117.82, the first competitor that finished, went first. And then that's LW 12.2. And then Mirakoa from Japan, LW 10.2, 124.14. Lu Sitang, that's from Japan. Lu Sitang, the LW 12.2 for China, 124.91. And then Anna Sowen, LW 12.1, 127.37. Sailor O'Brien, the LW 12.1, 131.50. And then Zhang Wenjing, an LW 12.1 from China. And Annalia Forster from Germany did not finish in the same. And then in Super G, division impaired. We had a vision impaired. And we had Johannes Agner from Austria, 111.99. Giacomo Britta Nagoli from Italy, AS3 had a 112.15. 113.29. Callie Erickson from Canada. Neil Simpson, 114.39. highest king. The place from France, 116 save. Michael Goss, AS3, 116 Saison. And then the place was AS3. Simpson was AS3. Eriksson was AS2. Britain Nagoli was AS3. And Agner was AS2. And then we had Michael Goss, 116 Saison, like I said, for Poland, AS3. And then Wang Lingnong, AS2, 11743. Ningu Wang, 1, AS3, 11828. Maximilian Seeger from Belgium, AS2 at a 12064. Thaddeus Chris from AS3 from Czechia at a 12146. Alexander Ruin from Germany had a 12341. Fred Warburn from Great Britain at a 12403. And then Miroslav versus AS2 from Slovakia. And then Marek Kuchapaka, AS1 that fish. And AS1 is fully blind run. And there was one fully blind skier that did not finish, and that's impressive, you know. Just to even be like fully blind, you know, and just even qualify for the Paralympics fully blind. Like they tell you, like they have a guide, and then they also have someone like the guide shouts out stuff, and they have like speakers so they can tell them when to turn, or tells them, you know, coming up, you know. That's like just even make it to Paralympics fully blind. That's pretty impressive, especially in skiing. And then we had 33 competitors in the standing Super G. So we're just going to tell you top competitors, top 5. Robin Kucci from Switzerland, 1 of 12. LW91, and then Patrick Halgren, USA had a LW2, 113.1. And then Louis Seegers from France, online, LW92, 113.59, 114.11. Alaski Ugaev, LW6/82, 114.11. Russia, France, Jordan Brosen from LW for 114.25. Then we had the men's sitting Super G. And we had 27 competitors. So again, I'm just going to tell you top 5. We had Rowan Kemp from Netherlands, 1 LW12.2, 113.08. Jesper Peterson from Norway, LW11 at 113.8. Andrew Kirka, LW12.1, 113.85 from USA. Rain Del Sostra from Italy, 12.1 had a 114.08. And then 114.54 Niels Langen, LW12.2 from Netherlands. And then in mixed team wheelchair curling, Republic of Korea, 176 over Great Britain. Korea had 60% draws, 41. Takeouts 23, 74%. 864 for the game. Shots for the game, 66%. Compared to Great Britain, 23 draws, 54%. 41 takeouts, 48%. 64% for the game, 58%. So Republic of Korea forced Great Britain a ton of takeouts. And Republic of Korea got 1 in the first with a steal. Great Britain last one draw, and 2 in the second. Great Britain finally got 1 in the third, and then with their hammer. And then Great Britain stole 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. And Korea got 1, 2 in the sixth with the hammer. And then Great Britain got 2 in the seventh with the hammer. And then Republic of Korea got 2 in the eighth with the hammer to win it 8-7. And then the only one I could watch was the Sweden mixed team. And they were pretty well, and they went pretty well this game. Actually, Sweden had the better draw percentage at 71% on draws, 35 of them, but only 21 takeouts for 49%, so not the most successful. 11 takeouts for 64% for the United States. So they were really successful in that. We're not bad on that. And then 53 shots for the game, 63%. And then United States had last stone draw. They got 2 in the first with hammer. Then they stole 1 in the second, third, and fourth from Sweden. 1 in the fifth, Sweden got with hammer. And then United States got 1 in the sixth, and then Sweden got 1 in the seventh United States got 1 in the seventh. Where Sweden then. And yeah. So they conceded United States and Alabama because 7-1 in that game. there's no way to probably come back. And that was just really good play by the United States, just all throughout this game. I mean, not much more to say. The United States didn't play like perfectly, no. But they did what they had to do, especially when they were taking out other stones, steal ends, and just slowly increase that lead and win it for the United States. Canada wins 11-1. Canada got 3 in the. They didn't have the last draw. Latvia did actually. They got 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and they were up 11-0 with the steals. They stole that, and 5 straight ends they got 11 points of steals. And then Latvia got 1 on the sixth, and they went 11-1. And Canada had 72% draws, 31, 74% takeouts, 17 of them, so 48 shots for the game, 72%. Latvia had only 51% of the shots for the game. Draws 33 of them, 15 takeouts for 50%, 48 game shots for the game for 51%. One your other team is 72% and 74% on 72% draws, 74% takeouts. That does not, and then that's kind of rough, especially when they get 10 and steal 5 ends in a row. And then Italy stole ends as well. They stole ends 2 through 6 after they lost their draw in the first. Italy got 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth to win 10-0. And then game statistics. Just really rough stuff. We had 25, 46, 17, 68, 33%. These are alternate as well for game for draws. And then 41% takeouts, 21. They had a forced a lot of takeouts, 28 draws. It's 45%, so 48% for the 43% for the 40 of them. And then Italy was just very efficient, 70% draws, 35 of them, 13 takeouts for 77%, so very efficient on the takeouts. In the game, 48 for 72%. So just very, very efficient for wheelchair curling, especially going 10-0 and forcing Slovakia to concede. And then Latvia forces Japan to concede in the 8th end, as Latvia scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Latvia stole 5 points in the first round. Then Japan got 2 in the fourth. Then Latvia with hammer got 4 in the fifth. Then Japan got 2 in the sixth. Latvia got 1 in the seventh, and then just the end was the game was over. That was in mixed doubles. This was mixed doubles, by the way. And then 56% for the game, 50% takeouts, 55% total. And then Japan had 30% draws, 25% takeouts, 35% for the game. And then Italy won to 11-10 on extra end. Italy got 4 in the first, 1 in the second on a steal. Then Great Britain got 2 in the third. Italy got 2 in the fourth. Great Britain got 2 in the fifth. Italy got 2 in the sixth. Great Britain got 2 in the seventh, 3 in the seventh, and then stole in the 8th. And Italy wins in the extra end 11-10. And then Arietta Berto, 40% draws, 30% takeouts, 37% for the game, 50% total. And then Paolo Arietta, 84% for draws for the game, 58% takeouts, 71% for the game. And then Joanna Barfield at 56% draws, 50% takeouts, 56% for the game, 44% for tournament. And then Yasagina at 58% for draws, 63% for takeouts, and 59% for the game. And before we get too far, we also had China beat Italy 11-1 in Group A. Slovakia, Paralympics, Czechia won 8-1 Slovakia in Group B. And then later in the United States beat Germany 13-0 in Group A. Slovakia, and then Canada won over Japan 14-0 Slovakia. And then United States of America were they needed to win to get into the mixed doubles semifinals for the medal round. And they beat the only undefeated team remaining, China. But you knew that China might have a comeback, and they did. Because the United States got 1 in the first, then stole 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Then China with power play had 4 in the fourth. Then China stole 1 in the fifth, and stole 1 in the sixth. The United States used their power play, got 2 in the seventh, and stole 1 in the eighth to win. Which is, wow, just back before the action, the United States really just played it smart, and they won in that game. And then Laura Dreyer or Dyer. 50% draws, 15 of them. 1 takeout for 100%, 53% for the game, 16 shots. And then Steven Empt at 66% draws, 23 of them. 1 takeout 100%, and 68% for the game, 24%. China is one of those teams that likes to do the draws in the United States, or use the takeout, excuse me. That's my bad. Usually in mixed team, you see a lot of takeouts in mixed team. In mixed doubles, you really don't see a ton of takeouts. You see them play towards like the bun more. Try to play last shot, rock. But they were just able to do that, People in the Republic of China, United States forced them to play the draw in certain situations, and it backfired on them. And Wang Meng, 50% everything for the game. 16 shots. Ying Jingku, 67% for draws, 15. 9 takeouts, 70%, 24 shots, 70%. And then we had Republic of Korea. Stole ends 2 through 6, winning 10-0. They got 3 in the first and the fifth, 1 in the second through fourth, and the sixth then. And then Korea was really successful. Jean Beek, 77% shot 6 total of them, and no takeouts. And then Lian's had 72% draws, 17 of them, 1 takeout, and 18 for 74%. And then Caitlin Ryback had 39 draws, 30%, 6 takeouts, 3%, 15 shots, 33%. And then Ellen Vilu had 6 draws, no shots, 6, 9 takeouts, 24%. So 15 shots, 15%. Which is wow. And then People's Republic of China in the mixed team dominated Norway, 11-2. And then People's Republic of China got 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third on a steal. And then Norway got 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth for China, 1 in the sixth for Norway, and then 5 in the seventh for Norway. And Norway had to concede because 9 points. There's no way you're going to make it up with only 8 stones. And as a team, Norway shot 60%, 55% takeouts, 50% for the game. China shot 67%, 83 for takeouts, and 56 shots for the game, 55% as well. China actually likes doing the takeout game. They're a really strong takeout game, especially in mixed team. And they're strong in mixed doubles as well. In the Republic of Korea versus Slovakia, Korea got stolen 1 in the first by Slovakia. Then Korea got 2 in the second, 1, and they stole 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth from Slovakia. And Slovakia got 2 in the fifth. Then Korea got 1 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh. And then Slovakia stole 2 from Korea late. But it doesn't matter. Korea won 7-5. And Korea at 80% shot draws, 46% for takeouts, 65% for the game. And then Slovakia only had 62% draws, 60%. 60% draws, 42, 21 takeouts, 49%, 63% shots, 56%. And then Great Britain fell Sweden 6-5. Sweden got 1 in the first, Great Britain got 2 in the second. No got a shot in the third, probably in the third. Then 1 in the fourth for Sweden. 1 in the fifth for Sweden on steal. And then Great Britain got 3 in the sixth. And then 2 in the seventh. Great Britain. And Sweden stole 1 to win 6-5. United States, or game sets. Great Britain got 27 draws, 51%. 37 takeouts, 16%. 64 draws, 50%. The United States really just in a tough position. United States was Great Britain, my bad. Great Britain was really in a tough position to win. Despite actually Sweden out shooting them, it's just that Sweden just played well at their strength to take out this game, and it really showed. Because Sweden only had Sabina and Johansson at 9% draws, 8 of them. Ronnie Pearson had 5 of them for 25%. 44%, and then 33 takeouts, 77% for Sweden, and 61% for the game for Sweden. And this was the United States fell to Latvia 8-6. Latvia had United States had last turn draw the first 5 ends. Latvia stole one every end. 2, 1, and 3. And all 8 points came actually in 4 steals in the 4th end. The United States got 1 in the 5th. Then they actually stole 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th. And then United States actually played the 8th end, trying to win that one. But they were not able to win the 8th end just because of the fact that they felt that, they went to the very end. But with the last stone, and for the United States, and then Latvia actually outdrew them, the bun, just barely, but it was what it is. And then United States of America, that was really weekend shots. Matthew Thomas, 22% draws, 25% takeouts, both at 8 and 16 shots, 23%. Shannon O'Neill, 38%. That's the vice. Matthew Thomas, Shannon O'Neill's skip. And 38% draws for the game. 8% takeouts, 3 of them. 16 game, 33%. And then Dan Rose, really 3 draws filled in for. Got filled in by Katie Vanderveer. And he got 3 draws, no success. 5 takeouts, 58%. 8 for the game, 34%. On range, it's 77% for the draws. It's for 2 takeouts, 10%. 80% for the game. 16%. So this is the best curler this game by far. 77% for the tournament. And then Katie Verdeber got 8 draws, 48% for the game. And then Latvia had not the best. Actually, they'd outshot on draws. We had Linda Murrier, 12 draws, 42%. 3 takeouts, 62%. And then 15 draws, 38%. And then Sergis Danico had 9 draws, 36%, 7 takeouts, 12%, 16 shots, 31%, and then 58% shots, 58%, 9 takeouts, 56%, and 61% draws, 7 of them. 4 years, Bernice and Elijah Ansine had 16 draws, 60%, and no takeouts. So that is it for the United States. I thought the United States would come back and win in the 8th. But Latvia just did just enough, to force. They had good quality takeouts and just forced the United States to play guards and play smart shots, play good shots. They did. They played these good shots, but just came up just a tad short. And then on 10th we have Super G. We have Alpine combined skiing, downhill, and the slalom combined. It is the vision impaired for the men, the skiing, and the sing. And it's the vision impaired for the men, staying for the men, and the sing for the men. And then that's what and if you're in the United States, you can see on Peacock. So it's 9 a.m. in Italy. And then that's on Peacock in USA Network. And then on Peacock, you cannot see in the United States mixed team wheelchair round robin. They only have game matches from the United States, the male matches and the semifinals, the male matches, and pretty much that only. So and they're having a few non-United States matches, but not even though the world feed is to produce all the matches, they're not even showing the featured match with its commentary. Regardless of or the teams with just the 2, even just that feature match with the commentators, no matter who's or just bases off that the best going in the day, the best records, and that's Scraper Nelly, China Canada, and Greenaway and Sheet Speed C&D. She is that used because they're some of the teams get few breaks, and they're playing because they play mixed wheelchair curling. Also, they play that until the 12th, which is Thursday, with a morning session and an afternoon session, or a mid-afternoon session and an evening session, or they have an evening session and a morning session. It just depends. And then on the 10th, we have that, and then we have par cross country, and then the curling starts at 9:35 in Italy, 4:35 East. I guess on Peacock you can't see that, but it's 4 a.m. Eastern for the alpine skiing, 9 a.m. in Italy, and then 9:45 a.m. in Italy, 4:45 Eastern is the par cross country and sprint sim qualifying, and the men's will follow that. And then at 10:05 is Preliminary Group A, Italy, Germany, 5:05 Eastern. On Peacock, you can see that. And then at 5:25, it's the women's sprint class 16 qualifying. The men's sprint class 16 qualifying after that. And at 5:55, it's at 10:55 in Italy, is the women's sprint classic vision impaired. And then the vision impaired is at 11:05, and then the women's sprint sing semifinals will start at 7:15 a.m. Eastern, and that is 12:15 in Italy. And then it's the sprint sing for the men semifinals, the sprint classic sting semifinals for the men and women. Then the men, that's the vision impaired cross country skiing, the sprint classic for the women. And then the men fall. And then it's the sprint sing final for the men and women. Women and the men. That's the sting for the men. Women and the men. And it's the vision impaired for the women and the men. And then we have at Eastern, it's the alpine skiing. It's the alpine combine. It is women's song, the vision impaired, then the standing, then the sing for the women. And it's the alpine skiing, the song, the alpine combine. Alpine skiing, alpine combine, vision impaired for the, for the song. Then the men, that's the sting, and that's the sing. It's the women first, then the men. In vision impaired, sting and sing the hour. And then 8:35 Eastern, 1:35 p.m. in Italy, it's United States, China. In Paralympics, the Premier, it's a mixed team event, but it's mainly men, because they have an exception if you have one woman and one female wrestler. You get an 18th wrestler spot. And then at 9:35 Eastern, at 2:35 p.m. in Italy, 9:35 a.m. Eastern, on Peacock, you're going to see China, Latvia, you're going to see Korea, United States. The only ones you're not going to see on Peacock is the mixed team round robin session 7 GB with Great Britain, Italy, China, Canada, Korea, Norway, because they focus on United States matches for which are occurring. And then you're going to see both mixed double semifinals in multi-view if you have a computer or a TV, smart TV device with the Peacock app. They'll do it like Roku, smart TV, or a TV with like Roku streaming stick, or like a tablet that's big enough for a computer. And then that's sheet A is China, Latvia, and then sheet D is Korea, United States, 9:35 Eastern, 2:05 Milan. And then Paralympics Group B at 12:05 in Eastern, Peacock 6:05. That's non-USA network. And on USA Network, they are going to know what's USA Network's schedule. USA Network is Peacock after the mixed doubles semifinal. They're not going to have any more. It's the men's women's super combined super G. They're that from 4 a.m. Eastern to 5:10 Eastern, where the men's women's sprint classic qualifying. They're going to have the men's combined super G part. That 6 for the men's and same play. Then the men's women's sprint classic finals start at 7:15 Eastern, Peacock on USA Network, and then it's going to be the USA China Group stage. Saki at 8:35 Eastern, and then I'll show USA Korea mixed double semifinal. Start on Peacock at 9:35 Eastern. And then 10:30 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be after Saki's done. It's going to be on USA Network live, and then it's going to show the men's women's sprint classic finals. The repeat of that. You're not going to see the slalom. It might, the men's women's super grind so much. I'm surprised they're not showing that. Highlights that. It's the men's women's sprint classic finals. Some more highlights of that for 15 minutes. From 11:15 to 11:30 Eastern. Then it's Canada, Czechia Group C, and Slovakia at 12:05 Eastern, 1:35 p.m. Eastern. Slovakia, Uzbekistan curling, 3:35 Eastern. Slovakia, Japan group stage. They're doing the back-to-back in Paralympics. Slovakia. It's Saturday the 7th. Then Sunday 8th was the off day. Then both teams are playing on 9th and 10th. They will have off the 11th. And then on 12th, it'll be the qualification playoffs for teams who finished 5 through 8. They will play the third place team in one group. In Group A, will play the fourth place team in Group B. And the third place team from Group B will play the fourth place team from Group A. And they'll do 5 through 8 qualifying. And then it's the semifinals on the 13th. 2 Slovakia semifinals. And on the 14th, it's the 7th place final and the 5th place final. And then it's the 15th. It's the bronze medal and the gold medal matches for Slovakia. On the 10th. And then we have mixed team round robin curling, 4 sheets. Slovakia, United States, which you can see Peacock gets 6:35 Elite Time, 1:35 Eastern. Like I said, Slovakia, United States. Latvia, China, you won't be able to see. Italy, Norway, Sweden, Canada. And then Slovakia, Japan, 3:35 Eastern. And Peacock. And that's 8:35 p.m. Italy time.